guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ariel and I am your tarot translator. So today I decided to upkeep my New Year's resolution, which is, well, I mean, we all have several of them, but one of mine was to stop putting so much pressure on myself to only film on days where I look like a professional makeup artist. So, yeah, I've been a professional makeup artist for 20 years. I've worked with tons of celebrities and a lot of really, really amazing brides over the years. A lot of you might actually know me from my prior business. Still running it. However, this is obviously my new favorite calling. And if you know anything about me, when I want to do something, I go after it. That being said, being a professional makeup artist for so many years, I've been on camera, hundreds of times, and I'm mostly comfortable in a full face of makeup. However, if you see me out and about in daily life, I actually almost never wear makeup. So I was only posting when I felt like doing my hair and makeup, and that was hindering me from posting as frequently as I would like to. In any event, this is a collective reading. Not everything that shows up here in this reading today is going to be for you. Please take what resonates and leave what doesn't for someone else. Leave me a comment if you have anything that you'd like to share with me that would be helpful for me as I'm growing this channel. I really look forward to diving in here with you more in the coming year. So a collective reading, that means that this is not for any particular sign. We're not looking at your sun, moon, rising, Venus, north node, south node. This is like if you are scrolling on the internet and you happen to find this video, there's most likely something in here for you. So to start off our reading today, we're just going to grab one card from this beautiful deck here and see what is popping out for us. So we've got the Ace of Wands. That's a really beautiful card. Now, the Ace of Wands talks about immense passion. It talks about, it can be new beginnings in love. It can be a card of, if it's totally irrelevant to love and just talking about, your current journey and what path you're on. It can be discussing something like a new endeavor that you're jumping into, or just general excitement, feeling like there's a fresh batch of energy hitting you that that you're excited to move forward with. So let's see another card here to put up on our table, our deck. And remember, for me, these are cards that are going to resonate at the end of the reading. So we're going to jump back to read these and intertwine them into the reading of the tarot that we're going to jump into next year. But let's just grab another card for the overall theme of this collective reading, please. An overall card for the theme. What do we get? You love me. Okay, so you've got an Ace of Wands, and the next card to come out is you love me. Well, that's exciting, collective. I feel like I'm tapping into a collective here that is maybe just met somebody new or is progressing the relationship to a state where they are contemplating whether or not this is, this is somebody that they're really looking to move forward with. I'm learning that endings are merely beginnings. So that card is really pretty, actually. I love the color of this card. It's very heart chakra opening. So, perhaps there is a wall that you are officially feeling like you're ready to let down a little bit. You're ready to let your guard down a bit. In the past, you may have been in situations where, you've felt this really fiery energy and excitement for the prospect of somebody new in your relationship. And yet, there was doubt before, So I released the need to know all the answers. I'm going to put this here because I was just called to pick up the second card, and I'm not really sure why I was called to do that, but I was only intending on picking one, and there are no mistakes. So we have the Death card, the Doubt card, and then we have this beautiful Ace of Wands and you love me. So yeah, I'm definitely picking up on a collective here that is feeling like, is it safe? Could this be somebody that I'm intended, or do they feel the same way about me? Let's see another card from this deck here. Okay. Locked, not for you, not available, major blocks. Interesting. So I want to get some confirmation on that really quick. Ghosted, sending endings, avoiding contact, lack of closure. All right, so I'm picking up on the fact that perhaps in the past, collective, you've felt blocked off or you've been ghosted, and you have felt like you have doubt that anything is going to progress in a healthy and a way that like you would like to see it go. Because in the past year, you've dealt with people who the fire is hot, the energy is on fire, you're feeling very drawn to them, they're feeling very drawn to you, there's a lot of attraction, there's a lot of just like initial feelings of excitement and physical chemistry. I'm feeling a lot of physical chemistry with that Ace of Wands. And yet in the recent past year, perhaps you have been in situations where, you know, it sort of fizzles out quicker than you would have hoped, or you fantasize that perhaps this person has all of the boxes checked for you, and not necessarily that you're like in love with them right away, but that maybe you're looking for love and you could see the potential of love with this person. So we really need to jump into the tarot to get a better understanding here. We're going to do an interesting spread today. What we're going to do is what I like to call their thoughts in the mind versus their next actions. So the way this spread works is I'm going to pick 5 cards, or the cards are going to pick you. 5 cards are going to be selected to go on the top row here, and those are going to represent the active mindset that this person has towards you at the current moment. So this is not their actions, this is their mindset. This is what they're thinking deep down if they really were to be honest with themselves or with you about how they're feeling about this connection. Roles can be reversed. This could be your feelings if it resonates with you more that way. And then on the second row, it's going to be focused on what their next actions are going to be towards you. So I'm just getting comfortable here. I'm doing a reading, don't bark. Top row. First 2 cards that popped out, we have the 9 of Cups, which is that single, independent, happy energy, but it's not the 10 of Cups, so it's not necessarily the energy of being with someone else. It's the energy of being happy and independent on one's own. The next card that we have coming out is the Knight of Cups. Okay, there we go. Now it's focusing for us. So the Knight of Cups is the next one. So romance, seduction. Let's see. Let's keep going. This is the top row for what their thoughts in the mind are of this connection right now. We've got the King of Swords. So honesty, genuine conversations, something about having discipline, having truth, wanting there to be truth and honesty here between the two of you. Page of Swords, curiosity. The Page of Swords is often represented by somebody who's sort of looking behind them. It can be seen as a spying card, but I take it more as like somebody who's very passionate in the moment, eager to learn a lot about you. And we have the Death card here again. So that was something that popped up over here. And this is very much a card of rebirth, change, and transformation. So, okay, in their current thoughts towards you, they're thinking that they could see this being something that is very seductive towards them. They feel seducted by you. They feel like you have this aura about you that you're totally fine, stable, and steady on your own. That you provide for yourself very well. That you are someone who has a lot of passion. They're curious to learn more about you, and they too are sort of coming from a space of, is this just an initial thing? Is this safe? Is this going to be like other things that have happened in the past for me? Like, situationships perhaps that like didn't work out. So they've got this, is this going to be a transformation and a change from my past, entanglements, or is this going to be something different? So let's go to their most likely actions towards you. Their most likely actions towards you, and then we'll clarify all of these. We've got the King of Cups. It's such a beautiful owl. It's a snow owl. So the King of Cups obviously is not the Queen of Cups. It's the male version of energy. There's no gender in tarot, but we all have male and female yin and yang energies inside of us. And the King of Cups in the actions talks about being very sort of methodical about what their next moves are going to be, like guarding that cup of emotions and not letting it overflow, so that they feel kind of in control and not letting themselves kind of get their emotions run away with them, let their emotions run off with them. Page of Wands is next. So that speaks of a lot, again, very similar to the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is much stronger, which is your overall, energy here, but the Page of Wands is like the baby of the Ace of Wands. You start off as a page, go to a knight, then a king, and the king ultimately holds that Ace of Wands, or the queen also holds the Ace of Wands. So it's a fire energy. You could be dealing with a Leo, Sagittarius, an Aries. You don't have to be. There's a lot of different signs here on the table. You've got Scorpio, you've got Libra, you've got Cancer, you've got, you've got a lot of water, a lot of air. I'm not seeing any earth energy here yet. Let's keep going. So next we've got, in their likely actions for you, Ten of Swords. So that can talk about fear of something collapsing here. King of Pentacles, there's our Pentacle Earth energy. So you could be dealing with a earth sign. That is prosperity, leadership, abundance in both relationship and in, okay. So here was your Ten of Swords, just so you can see the card. Here's your King of Pentacles. Talks about a very stable, grounded energy that is making decisions from a very earthly headspace. They're not letting their emotions run away with them at all. And then the Five of Swords being sort of like a action of maybe bringing up some subjects that test the waters to see how profound this is, right? To see if this could lead to actual love, right? And how do you know if it's going to lead to love without testing the waters, without having some of those deeper conversations to see like how aligned are we really, like anybody who's, dating someone new is going to have superficial conversations at first. They're going to, just want to get to know each other on that superficial level. But eventually, in order for it to grow, they need to ask the harder questions. Are we aligned in our values? Are we aligned in our morals? Are we aligned in what we see for the future? Are we aligned for what we want for the future? Do you want kids? Do you not want kids? Do you have kids? Do you not have kids? Like, I don't know what stage in life you're dating, but obviously these are types of questions that might come up. So let's clarify the Nine of Cups and their feelings towards you. The Nine of Cups and their feelings towards you is clarified by the Seven of Cups. So some confusion, some daydreaming, some feeling of like, how do I keep going with this? This is in their mind, remember. So in their mind, they also have Knight of Cups to the Three of Swords. So in their mind, again, this is really tying back together to me. This is feeling like a very similar story either on both sides or on one of your sides, where the Knight of Cups is sort of he's a precursor to the King of Cups. But he makes the offer, right? He makes an offer. He takes his horse and he rides it over to the Queen of Cups, and he makes her the offer of the Ace of Cups. But when it's clarified by the Three of Swords, it talks about how perhaps this person has gone through some emotional grief and some emotional disappointment in a recent relationship where they're still, it doesn't even have to be recent. It's just something that they've been through where perhaps in a previous relationship, they gave that cup. They were really excited to see, this flourish and grow, and that person ultimately broke their heart. So you're dealing with someone who does have past heartbreak here. If that's resonating for you, please give this video a like, and that just helps to support our channel as we grow this together. So let's move in here to the King of Swords. What is clarifying the King of Swords? Thank you. We've got the Queen of Pentacles. All right, so we've got a divine pairing here now. We've got the King and the Queen of Pentacles. So that tells me that you're both coming from a very grounded space. Neither of you are jumping in with both feet. You're both very much, you might want to, but you're both deep down, if you're being honest with yourselves, really analyzing each other. This is Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus energy. So very, very smart signs, right? Signs that are very grounded, very earthly, and very practical. So when you've got the Queen of Pentacles in their mind and the King of Swords clarifying it, that means that they want this to be a grounded, stable relationship that comes from a space of genuine honesty. That's what's going to make them feel the most safe. It's either you or them. But in order for them to progress with this, as much as this Ace of Wands is here, and that's a lot of fire, that's a lot of sexual tension, they are feeling like they want to make sure that that's not what's just driving everything. They want to believe, and they want to know that it's deeper than that, because anybody can have chemistry and physical attraction on the surface. Seven of Pentacles is here to clarify the Page of Swords. Seven of Pentacles, Page of Swords talks about an energy of saying, okay, I'm really passionate, I'm interested, I'm curious with the Page of Swords. And the Seven of Pentacles in deciding if I can pursue this, invest in this, watch this grow. In the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, you've got a farmer who is plowing, and he's got his 7 Pentacles, and he's made the investment of planting the seeds, and he's watching them grow. Onto the 8 of Pentacles is next, which is really putting in that hard work. The 7 of Pentacles is still kind of contemplating, like, is this going to grow? Is it going to bear fruit? So it's very much giving the vibe of like, hey, maybe this is like a 3-month into the relationship, 3 weeks into the relationship. I'm getting the number 3 for some reason here. But I don't have a feeling that it's 3 years. And if it is, then, you know, it's that point where, like, you know, I would think if it's at a 3-year mark and we're having these types of questions, maybe they're really contemplating a longer term commitment, like, you know, marriage or moving in together or what have you. I have to keep going to see, but this is primarily giving me the energy of a newer relationship right now. So let's move on to the final card here in their mental space, which is the Death card. So that talks about changes and transformations, rebirth, and we've got the 6 of Cups. So when I see the Death card to the 6 of Cups, I think to myself very much what I'm talking about before, which is that this might be a repeated pattern for somebody, right? 6 of Cups talks about repeated cycles, repeated patterns, past life energy, somebody that is very much a soulmate. 6 of Cups is like no small, you know, no small cups. 6 of Cups is memories, it's past cycles, it could be soulmate energy, it could be someone from your past. There's so many things that it can mean, but when I see it with the Death card here, I feel that in their headspace, what they're thinking about you is that they would really like to break any old patterns that they've had in the past. They've got some hope that this could be really different. Now that's in their headspace. So now when we go to their actual actions or next likely actions towards you, to clarify the King of Cups, so that king that's really contemplating, is she or he safe to give my Ace of Cups energy to? We've got it clarified by the 3 of Wands. And the 3 of Wands really talks about growth and expansion. It talks about, you know, finding your tribe, finding your people, feeling like this is somebody that you can really trust. So in their actions, I feel like they are determining very soon here whether or not, and they've got an inkling that you are somebody that they can consider, you know, long-term partnership with. Can you become part of their tribe? Can they become part of yours? Page of Wands and their future actions towards you. The Emperor. Well, that's the Mac Daddy of the tarot. The Emperor only entertains the Empress. I always say that. And here we've got, you know, passion, freedom, optimism, Page of Wands, Emperor. So in their actions towards you, I feel like they are very much in a sort of 2 of Pentacles energy. I'm getting that. I'm getting this feeling of like, am I ready to step it up and be everything that he or she needs me to be? Or am I going to keep on acting in Page of Wands energy, which is the baby of the tarot as far as that suit goes. So how do you go from Page to Emperor? I mean, that's a huge leap. You're skipping the King and the Knight in between those suits there. I'm curious to see where this is going. So why the 10 of Swords here in the middle of the spread for their actions? 2 of Wands. So making a decision, is this partnership or is this not? Okay, we've seen that repeated here multiple times. King of Pentacles, why is the King of Pentacles here in their actions? Queen of Wands. Okay, so they're extremely attracted to you. Queen of Wands, extremely attracted to you. You represent their ideal type. You're extremely sexy to them. I see why the Ace of Wands is here. What's the 5 of Swords? What's this conversation that they want to have with the collective? The Wheel of Fortune. So this very much talks about destiny, talks about karma, talks about feeling like what's next, like where is this going? Okay, so let's get a better picture here, please. Let me get the mutual energy between the 2 of you. Can I please have the mutual energy between the collective and the person that's on their mind? So I like to ask you to please think of that person that's on your mind, really tap into them for a moment. Picture them at the forefront of your mind. And as we collect the energy that is present between the 2 of you right now. So please give me the energy that's present between the collective and their person. I'm just going to pull here when it feels right. Thank you. So we've got the Hermit, both in that deep collective thought, insight, introspection. So you're both coming from a space of introspection. The High Priestess, you're both really very much tapping into as much intuition as you possibly can. The let's see here, the Nine of Swords. There's a bit of anxiety here between the two of you. Both of you could be sharing a sense of anxiety. The Moon, there's a little bit of, you know, uncertainty. There could be some feelings that are beneath the surface that aren't ready to come out. And the Fool, you're both hopeful that this could be something really that could progress here. So, and we've got the Chariot, movement forward. Milo, don't do it. Don't do it, Milo. Leave that dog alone. God forbid another dog walks in the neighborhood. Milo can't handle it. All right, so let's look at the likely outcome for the two of you here based on all of this, and then I'll give you a recap of what I'm seeing. So what are 5 cards for the likely outcome between the collective and this person? Wow. This one, yes, he loves you, or at least he or she has love on the brain. Strength, some sense of holding that back. Terrified of really expressing that to you. They could see love with you, collective, or you can see love with them, but you're both kind of scared. What's next? The Magician. Likely outcome here is both of you or one of you really taking action to create what they desire. 9 of Pentacles. That talks about, you know, prosperity and happiness, but it's also talking about coming from a space of wholeness. The 9 of Pentacles, again, is not the 10 of Pentacles, and we had the 9 of Cups here as our very first card that pulled out for you guys as far as their mental energy towards you. So they've been single for a while. I don't know if this person has ever been married before, or if they've been married before. They've been single for quite some time since that previous marriage, and you're somebody new that they're dating, or perhaps they've never been married and they just had 1 or 2, maybe 1 significant long-term relationship. So they're coming from a space of a lot of like single energy, right? They haven't been partnered up with somebody else in a really significant way for a while. And yet with you, they're really contemplating that. Milo, come here. One final card, please, for the outcome, for the collective and this person on their mind. 5 of Cups. So that talks about having a fear, right? A fear of disappointment, a fear of being left out in the cold, a fear of some sort of grief. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And at the bottom of the deck, we have Temperance, Patience, Harmony, Ace of Swords, 3 of Cups. Okay. So at the bottom of the deck, here's the 3 cards that you had. This is what you don't see coming. So 1 is future outcome, most likely future outcome, and 1 is what you don't see coming, with King of Wands here as well at the very bottom. Okay, so let's put this all together for you, collective. Here's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing that you are currently in a situation where the person that you're dealing with is coming from a space where they've been single for quite some time. They're very confused about how they feel about this connection because they're feeling a lot of feelings that they have not felt in the recent, you know, situations that they've had with other people. You're bringing up a lot of feelings they haven't felt in a really long time. And because of that, it triggers this sort of fear of the 3 of Swords, right? The heartbreak. It triggers this fear of the heartbreak. But yet they're willing to come to you and give this offer, this romantic offer. So they're willing to put themselves out there. They're willing to go on the dates. They're willing to invest the time. They're willing to try. King of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, but in their headspace, they are very much looking at you. I mean, maybe they've got piercing blue eyes. I don't know. But they definitely are looking at you. They want to see through you. They want to see what's beneath the mask, right? Because they're being practical and logical about it. In their headspace, they're thinking, I've been here before in some capacity, maybe not exactly like this, but I have been in a similar situation before where I thought it was going to work out and be for me. And so I want to make sure that I'm investing where I should be. Page of Swords, 7 of Pentacles. That's very much, again, that's a studying you kind of energy, looking at you, not letting their emotions get the best of them, really trying to be methodical and think like, is this a worthy investment? Which is what you want. I mean, you want a partner to really assess before they just like jump in and, you know, throw things all willy-nilly into the air. 6 of Cups to the Death card here as their final thoughts and feelings about you. So this is not their actions. This is their thoughts and feelings. This is, again, This person has definitely been through something in the past, or you've been through something in the past. You're both, or one of you is feeling like, I don't want to repeat a cycle again where this just ends and fizzles out. I want a rebirth here. I want transformation. But there are certain things that, memories and things that are being triggered through this connection for them. But they really ultimately what they want is healing, right? They see this as something that could be healing for them. In their next likely actions for you, again, we've got the King of Cups to the Three of Wands. Let me just grab that. Okay, so you've got the King of Cups to the Three of Wands. That's very much talking about, like, I feel like there's a lot of underlying love here. There could be love. You love me here. We've got the card that popped out that says love on it. So there's definitely feelings of like, could I be falling in love? Like, I'm freaking out about it a little bit. Could this be my person? Could I be part of their tribe? Could they be a part of my tribe? The Emperor to the Page of Wands. So that's very mismatched energy there, though, collective, because the Page of Wands and the Emperor are just total opposite ends of the spectrum here. The Page of Wands is, again, the baby of that suit, right? The Wands energy. So, and the Emperor is the Mac Daddy of the tarot, So it's like their next actions towards you are, I'm approaching you as a Page of Wands. I'm coming in with like this lighthearted, passionate energy, like, you know, kind of free flowing, go with the flow. But really, I'm in this Emperor energy. I'm thinking you might be somebody worth more than that investment, or yeah. And my intuition here with the High Priestess between the two of you is saying that I've really gotta trust my gut on this. Okay, so next in their actions towards you, you've got the Two of Wands to the Ten of Swords. So they're making a decision in partnership. Are they going to let this collapse, or are they going to decide to move forward? And based off of the likely outcome, I see that they're really going to put their best foot forward on trying to make this move forward between the two of you. They're going to give it their best effort, and they would like for you to do the same. The King of Pentacles to the Queen of Wands. This is clarified by the Moon energy here. So you had the Moon as the mutual energy between the two of you. But in their likely actions towards you, you've got the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands. So their likely actions towards you is a combination of both investment and really high chemistry, really high, you know, touchy-feely type of energy. That's their next likely actions for you. They very much like your touch, right? They like that feeling of intimacy with you. If you all have gotten to that point, or whatever level of that point you've gotten to, there's something about your warmth and your fire that they really are drawn to. And in their next likely actions towards you, they're feeling like they'd like to see this progress, but they're going to have some sort of hard conversation. It doesn't necessarily have to be like terrifying conversation, but like some sort of conversation of depth, something that gives you some insight into the triggers that they have in their mind, something that makes them feel like they really see past like just the mask that we all wear when we first start dating somebody. They really want to see to that core of who you are, and they're not afraid of having those hard conversations and sharing their insights with you as well. And that's ultimately going to decide whether or not they feel like this is going to progress and move forward. But in the mutual energies between the two of you, you've got the Fool here, which is a very positive sign. I mean, if you're asking yes or no, do they want to move forward? The answer is yes with the Fool there. Okay, and then in that likely outcome, we've got He Loves You, Strength, Magician, Nine of Pentacles, and Five of Cups. So I've got the emotions, they're there. I'm holding them back because I'm scared. I'm trying to manifest this to be more than what it currently is, or for it to keep going in this positive direction. I'm still very much in that energy of like, I know I'm okay all by myself. And that's sort of a defense mechanism is what I'm feeling. It's like I've made it this far alone. I could keep going by myself if I really wanted to, but do they really want to? No, they don't want to be left out in the cold. They don't want to feel like they're still, you know, out there. Because I mean, let's be honest, dating is really fun for a lot of you, like in the beginning stages. Like let's say, you know, you break off a long-term relationship, or you go through a divorce, or you're just for whatever reason, you're in your early 20s and you're just really starting to get out there and get into the dating pool. It's a lot of fun in the beginning, but for a lot of people, I do hundreds of readings for people in all different stages of their life. And I mean, the overall message that I get from the majority of the people that I do readings for is exhaustion. I mean, it can get exhausting after a while. Ultimately, people really want to meet their person if that's what they're looking for. The whole hookup culture like is getting exhausting for a lot of people here. So let's see if there's any messages here that they would share with you if they felt comfortable doing so. Let's see what comes out. These are the love messages here, the love message oracles here. So give me just however many cards want to come out. If this person were to be in this room with me right now, what would they say to the collective if they had the opportunity to do so? What would this person say to the collective if they had the opportunity to do so? Give me as many cards as you'd like to let us know what to contemplate here. So I'm just going to do a quick shuffle, and whatever pops out on the table is what wants to pop out. Almost at the end of this deck here. Let me know. Thank you. Okay, so we've got a few here. We've got patience. Some things still need to be dealt with for this connection to manifest. All right, patience is the first one that I see here. Beware of codependency. Addictive behaviors are affecting your romantic life. So perhaps this person feels like in the past, the people that they've been drawn to were sort of codependent. This person feels to me like they like to enjoy their freedom. They've been independent and single for quite some time. And so there's aspects of that lifestyle that they're not ready to give up yet. And frankly, from what I've seen of like the healthiest relationships, you have your life together and you have a life with friends and family and people that are still connected to your significant other, but that fill your cup in other ways besides just seeking that fulfillment in each other. Express your love. It's important to let people know that you love them. You have nothing to lose. So interesting, because we've had love come through on this reading multiple times here, and there's definitely a sense of like, again, that strength, holding that feeling of love back. So whatever collective I'm tapping into here, you're dealing with someone who has deepening feelings, right? Something here is progressing and it's scaring the out of them, all right? So a relationship will finally deepen in the next few months. You have been waiting for this. All right, so this collective that I'm tapping into has definitely been in a headspace of like, I'm on the same page. Like, I want to be patient. I want to express my love. I want this to deepen. I don't want to be codependent. Again, nine of cups and 9 of pentacles here. Those are the energies of people who have done the inner work, who are coming from a healed space, that are happy on their own. So think of it as like, you hear this all the time in dating advice, right? You need to be two whole people coming together. You don't want to be one broken person, one whole person. The whole person can't fix the broken person. You don't want to be two broken people that are looking to find the fixing within each other. You don't need to come to a relationship with like, I need you to fix this aspect of me in order to feel whole, right? Like nobody can provide that for you. You need to find that wholeness within yourself. The last card to come out here is free yourself. So you don't need to be in control of everything for a love relationship to be successful. That I think is really, really profound. I think that's very true. You can't be in control. Like when love is on the table, collective, control sort of goes out the door. And as much as this person, I'm getting here, as much as this person is trying to King of Swords, like, Page of Swords, they've got some swords here. They got the 3 of Swords from a previous entanglement that they were in. They've got the 5 of Swords. I mean, this person is very mentally worried. They've got the 5 of Cups here. So there's some energies on the table of this fear of like, can I free myself? Is it safe? And I think that's a way of protecting ourselves. That's a way of like protecting our hearts and keeping ourselves safe. But it can also be a way of like hindering ourselves. It can create self-sabotage. If somebody has these many feelings and they're not willing to express them, that can sort of be discouraging, but also a red flag. But they might also just need that like little nudge from you, that softness from you, that like it's safe. Like I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm gonna do the best that I can not to, right? I feel like this person needs some encouragement from there. Let's just grab some of these zodiac signs to close out this reading, collective, and then we'll do one last oracle card for you. But these are just some signs that you could be possibly dealing with. Give me some signs that the collective might be dealing with, and this is just to help. Oh, there we go. That's one. This is just confirmation. If you already know who your person is and this is really resonating for you, again, please hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. I really appreciate it. Really want to grow our community here. I'm doing this for you guys. So let's see, what do we got? As far as zodiac signs, we've got, you could be dealing with a Pisces. You could be dealing with a Virgo. You could be dealing with a Taurus. You could be dealing with a Gemini, or you could be a Gemini. We've got Leo, Sagittarius, Taurus again. It's double Taurus. We've got Aquarius here, Leo, Capricorn, Libra, and, oh, this one, Aries. Okay, so those are the signs that you could be dealing with. You could be one of these signs, or they could be one of these signs. It really doesn't matter. Again, any of these signs, these could be a north node. This is just sort of like a trigger point for you to say, hey, does this feel like it could be your person? Close it out with one final oracle card. I'm going to give you one from this deck because this is one of my favorite new decks. It's called the Bad Ash deck. So this has already been what's the word I'm looking for? Shuffled. Oh, there's your card. Okay. I'm unstoppable, unbreakable, and undeniably powerful. Collective, that is the card that wanted to come out for you. That is your calling from the universe. That's your final message here today. You are unstoppable, unbreakable, undeniable, and powerful. And don't you forget it. Thanks for tuning in. I love you, sending you love and light. And I will see you on the next one. Bye, guys.